Entitled Mom Sexually Assaults Me. Honestly, I'm not sure if this story fits here, but it does involve a mom. Entitled and thinking, I should give her something I really don't want. So with no other real place to put it. I'm putting it here, so, I'm a 25-year-old male who does work for a ride-sharing app in my spare time. I moved to my current location about a year ago and decided to sign up for the ride-sharing app in hopes of learning about my new environment. Honestly, it's been great. I've met a ton of cool people and even hang out with some outside of it. But there's always an exception to that rule. A few nights ago, I was working a Saturday, the busiest night of the week and thus, the most lucrative. It was getting late and I figured I'd do one more before I hit the road back home. I finally got a hit while fueling up and went to pick up my passenger. The woman in question was a mid-30s blonde and, to the right guy, very pretty. Unfortunately, I'm happily committed to my partner, who happens to be a man. When she gets in my car, it's very apparent that she's completely sloshed and needed to get home. In between slurring and asking me, you know what I mean? She kept talking about her kid and how her ex was ABD and how people should just be nice to each other. You know? She would shout random words and laugh hysterically at nothing. I was uncomfortable, but I would live. It's not like I've never driven drunks around before. When I pulled up to the address in question, she informed me that this wasn't her house. It was her ex's, and thank GD he wasn't home. So she asked if I could enter her actual address. She was too drunk to type it. Once I handed her back her phone with the proper address, that's when the touching started. At first, she just thanked me and rubbed my hand, but when I tried to pull away, so I could finish this never-ending nightmare of a ride, she latches onto me a bit. Her hands graze my shoulder and chest, and she begins asking really inappropriate questions. I don't know if it was stupid to tell her that she didn't exactly have my preferred equipment, but I did. Unfortunately, this only seemed to egg her on more. She told me a few more things like you'd like it once I get my clothes off, and my kid could use a nice daddy like you. But finally we got to the address in question, and I think GD this can finally be over, but clearly something got up this woman's ass because she asked for a hug and full-on kissed me. On the lips, no consent, no warning, and then she asked if I wanted to come in. I said let me park, and she got out to go inside. And then I peeled the HL out of there. Now I've obviously informed my rideshare service about the event, and they asked if I want to press any charges, and I said I don't think so. Mostly because I didn't have any actual evidence other than my word. At best, it would turn into a he said she said thing. At worst, she could even say I manipulated her when she was vulnerable. So I honestly feel lost about it. And I feel like she gets away with what she did outside of being banned from the app. Any advice from you guys? Imagine if that worked. Mommy, how did you meet daddy? He was my driver when I was drunk and indirectly asked to have sex. I wonder why her boyfriend left now that I think about it. She breathes, she a THOT show. Us, day, way to they thought Slayer. Get a camera, just in case you want to press charges next time. Installed 2 days ago. Also, some maced out. I would have needed it against this lady, but still, a mace in a car? That's just going to end badly for everyone involved. Now what you want is an actual mace. One tap with that bad boy and even the most unruly of passengers will come under control. Thank GD you escaped. Please let yourself feel whatever you feel. Violated, skeeved out, angry, sad, numb, confused. All could be perfectly valid reactions after being touched in an intimate manner by someone who was not invited to do so. It's okay to acknowledge these reactions, and it's okay to expect others to respect you whilst you're having them, for as long as that takes. Be open and honest with your partner. And if intimate contact is weird in the future, please don't hesitate to talk it through with a professional. I'm sure sorry she did that to you, man. Thank you, we have talked about it. There's little he and I don't share. He helped me though, that initial anger and shame. Just as your kind words have helped me tonight. You poor soul, glad it wasn't long enough of a ride for things to escalate too far. What a disgusting woman. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I'd recommend getting a dash cam, as they're reliable and quite inexpensive these days. You can get some real good ones for under $130 on Amazon Edit. If you're going to press charges, I recently learned a forced kiss is considered sexual battery, which is considered a felony where I live, Ohio, USA. I got raped by my 67 to 80-year-old neighbors. I'm a guy with a girl who's very pretty. I felt old man. PS. It's not fun. I'm really sorry that happened to you. It disgusts me when people say women can't commit assault. I'm so sorry you had some dried out egg scare you like that. Get a dash cam that views the front of the car and the inside to watch your passengers, and a large capacity SD card. It will save you a lot of headaches. Dump the SD card into a larger capacity hard drive for storage after every shift you drive. If a man was doing this to a woman, the whole world would hear about it. Good job keeping your cool, and hashtag X200B. Get a camera for the car ASAP. My advice? Invest in a car cam. It'll save your ass if anything like this happens again. Sorry you experienced this. Advice: get a dash cam for exterior and interior. Put a camera on the car. I think the drunkenness got to her, as do I. Another reason I didn't press the issue. It doesn't excuse what she did, but the problem with this theory is that she's not likely to stop getting drunk. Is she going to sexually assault people every time she does? If so, she has an underlying problem that has nothing to do with the alcohol. If not, then the alcohol wasn't the problem anyway. Because being drunk doesn't make you spontaneous do something you would never have thought of. It just removes the constraints. As I said, the big issue I have is that one. I only have my word, and any police or lawyer worth their salt will tell me there's nothing they can do. 2. I'm nearly 6 feet, and she was maybe 56. I could easily overpower a woman that size. She could even claim that it's my fault and I was worried the chips would fall in her favor. I don't want to press the issue on the fact that it's not only stressful, but I don't want to have nothing come of it or somehow it gets worse. But I have taken some other Redditors' advice and gotten a dash cam. If anything like this or worse happens in the future, I'll have proof. Install a dash cam for the road in front of you. One to see you and the passenger, and one for the road or place behind you. Cross-post on r/rape. This story is sexual assault, not rape. Bruv, you need a dash cam. You made the right choice to not go to court. You should post this on r/perverted parents. On both sides there were rapists driving for the apps in my city for a very short period. Obviously Lyft and Uber didn't want that image and cracked down with the police, and I know drivers who deal with bossy, manipulative customers who know a he said she said usually favors the customer because of those rape cases. So what anyone on either side can do. Maybe buy a small deck camera or GoPro to face inside the car. You don't need permission to film if it's for job security. And if nothing happens, you just delete the footage at the end of the day or week or whatever. This is why ride-sharing apps need to go the way of the dinosaur. Taxis have security cameras. Honestly, you should get a hidden camera/GoPro and hide it somewhere in your car, like maybe in the very back above the trunk, so it could see everything from behind. Just leave it. She was drunk and probably wouldn't do that sober. Note to self: install security camera if you somehow decide to be a ride-sharing driver, or have a phone recording. Get an interior camera for your safety. Don't worry, he did. I remember seeing this story a little while ago, nearly identical to this one. Did the first one get taken down? Less risk staying out of it, but you should have a sign in your car stating that no one is to do that, just in case. My advice is to not get into it, because if she is entitled, then she will try and find a way to turn it around on you. Just try and get over it, maybe laugh about it from time to time with your BF. I'm sorry that happened to you. Only advice is to set up a cam to record any events happening in your car when you rideshare. Sure, they cost a little bit to get a good one, but having evidence in case of emergency is always good. Get a camera to record your drives. For protection reasons, of course. She must be way too drunk, then wakes on next day and doesn't know anything. There are some straight-up lunatics who take advantage of ride-sharing. There was a story on the news about a month or so ago of a dude who picked up a drunk guy, let him sit shotgun, and the drunkard asks if the driver has ever rolled his car. The driver had installed a camera a while back after dealing with a few too many drunks, probably one or two like yours. The driver said no, to which the drunk responded something like, "Well, you're gonna tonight," and immediately tries to yank the steering wheel out of the driver's hands. Driver hits the brakes, holding the drunk at bay until a cop shows up, cause this all happened on the freeway. So some other driver thankfully made the call. Drunk was promptly arrested and banned from ever using the ride-share app again. Punch her in the face next time you see her. As a fellow ride-share driver, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I know how scary a situation like that is. Something similar happened to me with a drunk dude last week. I hope you have someone to talk this over with. Stay safe out there. Get a dash cam. My advice, get a camera. Get a dash cam in your car. Problem solved. Ernie to send all entitled kids to the ranch. I would have acted differently in that situation. This is horrible. Drunk or not, that's assault, and I'm so sorry that you can't really do anything. Maybe you could install a camera in the future or something to film what happens inside the car so something like this can't ever happen again. You could also look around the street. Maybe there was a car parked with a camera or something. I know it feels weird, but I would play it off as too drunk to notice and that it just happened. No advice for this situation, but from then on you should install a dash cam. Helps catch people like that. Get a dash cam facing in. Advice: get a cheap GoPro or some other camera so if anything bad happens again you have evidence. Should punched her, forget the guy can't hit girl bullshit. DN talk about being a crack addict. That's okay, I just don't like it when people mislabel assault as rape on purpose and make it seem like they are invalidating rape, not you, other people. Well, you can't really press charges, but if anything happens again, you can get a restraining order. Did you mean to type harassed in the title? Dashcam, you need to record not only the front and back road as you drive, but what goes on inside as insurance. Check your state's laws and look into getting a camera with audio. I, a professional Minecraft linguist, have found some errors in your comment and have recrafted it. Dashcam, you need to record not only the front and back minecart track as you drive, but what goes on inside as insurance. Check your state's laws and look into getting a camera with audio. That's FD up, and really it's a problem that we sexual assault and rape as only a man on women or women on women and nothing more, and even how that misconception can turn into a false, and even back to the women claiming that the assault was the other way around. This is a really FD situation and I wish I could help. Honestly, I think you did the right thing. A lot of people would have just thrown her out of the car and left. So I don't think there is any advice needed, but you should tell your partner, cause I think that it would be a good story you guys could laugh about. That is if you didn't already tell him. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification. See you on another video. Bye.